Hi there folks, it's Laura here and welcome to this video summary from Lesson 1 at Kooyong. So today what we went through are the basic mechanics of the game and we learned a little bit about the scoring and about how to describe a hand. So we're just going to go through all of these things bit by bit and reinforce the content. You'll also see below there are some supplementary videos that cover things like following suit, how to draw trumps as well, there's a few card play tips, and also generally how the card play works. So you might want to take a look at those too to reinforce things. Now the first thing we learnt about is the card play, and this is actually the second stage in bridge. The first stage is the bidding, but we actually skip over that and learn the card play first and then come back to the bidding, and the bidding is what we're going to focus on over the next few weeks. So just in terms of the card play, it's important that we know the people who are in the card play. The first one is the defender on lead. So they actually make the opening lead. The way they do that is face down. They wait for their partner to say thank you, then they flip it face up. And this sets the tone of what the first trick is going to be, or what suit we have to follow to. Now at this stage, after the defender on lead has played their card, the next thing that happens is that the dummy is displayed on the table in their nice neat columns, high cards towards yourself and the smaller cards towards your partner or the declarer, and make sure you leave yourself a little bit of room at the top of the table just so you can score your tricks as well. At this point, the declarer should also say thank you to the dummy for their cards. Now, the reason we do these thank yous is, I guess, a bit of niceties that go with it, but also for the defender on lead, what will happen is that we'll find that sometimes the wrong defender is actually going to make the lead, and it's just one little check that everybody at the table is happy that that's the correct player that's making the lead. It's a good little habit to get into, and you'll notice that people do it throughout bridge. The other thing, just in terms of a couple of good habits, also leave the board on the table throughout the entire hand, so that should never move, and that way we can just make sure that the cards go back into the correct slot. Also, just with board maintenance, north-south control the boards. That's a responsibility of their partnership, and what I like to do is I like to have one player who's responsible for the boards that we haven't played yet, and they sit face up on the side table, and the other player is responsible for the boards that we have played, and they flip them over face down on the other side. So let's get into how the actual card play works. So we've got defender on lead, they start face down, their partner says thank you and that's flipped up, then the dummy comes down and that's displayed. And of course declarer says thank you. At this stage we had the declarer choosing what suit they would like as trumps. Now the thing about choosing trumps, it's all about quantity, not about quality. Ideally you'll have both, but you just want a suit that you and your partner have at least 8 cards in, and you're happy for that to be trumps. Now with the dummy, it's best if they put the trump suit on their right hand side, or as everybody else looks at the dummy, it's actually the left hand side. In this way, if we ever forget what trumps are for that hand, we can have a look and see. Now when we start to learn a bit more about the bidding, we'll actually know what the trump suit is before the card play starts. So the defender on lead will actually know what the trump suit is before they choose their lead. But that's not until we do more of the bidding, which will be in the next few weeks. So at this stage we play through all 13 tricks. Once you've completed all 13 tricks, it's a good idea to check the scores. Now remember, for each trick that we had, we flip over the card and we only ever touch our own cards in bridge. And if we win a trick, we point it towards ourselves or perpendicular to the edge of the table, and if we lose a trick, it's horizontally against the edge of the table. And we overlap them as we go. So that's how the card play stage works. And a few important terms there: defender on lead, they start the card play. Dummy, they're the ones that display their cards and get told what to play. Declarer, they choose their cards as well as the dummies. And also trumps. Now remember, with our trump suit, that's the boss suit is another way of thinking about it. Any trump card beats every other card from any other suit. So that's how the card play process works. Now towards the end of the lesson, I touched on how the card play and the bidding interact without actually teaching you about the bidding. And basically what we're going to try to do when we do get into the bidding is predict how many tricks that the declarer will be able to take and what suit they would like to be trumps. The first thing we need to understand is about the scoring. Now there's a few different bonus levels in bridge. There's the part score, game, slam and grand slam. They're the 4 bonus levels that we have. Now for a Grand Slam, that's always 13 tricks. A Small Slam is always 12 tricks. Now the game bonus level, which is in all honesty quite a common level, much more common than slams and Grand Slams, it actually depends on the denomination or what's trumps. If you're playing in no trumps, it's actually only 9 tricks to get to the bonus level. If you're playing in hearts or spades, these are also called the major suits or grouped together as the major suits, it's 10 tricks. And if you're playing in clubs or diamonds, or what's known as the minor suits, it's 11 tricks if you want to make a bonus level. If you don't go for the game bonus level, you're going for a part score bonus, and this is basically taking 7 or more tricks. Now it's important to understand these terms, part score, game, slam and Grand Slam, because it is how the scoring is affected. Now once we get into the bidding, what we'll learn is that our high card points actually sort of correlate to what bonus level that we should be trying to achieve. So this is where aces are worth 4 points, kings are worth 3 points, queens are worth 2 points, and jacks are worth 1. Now if we add up all the high card points that we have in our hand and we combine them with the high card points that our partner has, it should give us a good indication of how many tricks that we will be able to take. Now if our partnership only has 18 to about 24 points, generally we only want to go for a part score contract or aiming to take 7 or more tricks. If we've got 25 or more points together, we can generally aim for a game contract in either a major suit, so hearts or spades, or in no trumps as well. So that's 25 or more points to get to a game contract in no trumps or in a major suit, hearts or spades. So this is with those suits as trumps. If you wanted to have a minor suit, clubs or diamonds as trumps, you actually want 28 or more high card points between the 2 hands to be able to get to your game bonus, and that's because you need to take 11 out of the available 13 tricks at that stage. With a small slam, that's 12 tricks, you need to have about 33 or more of the 40 high card points, and for a Grand Slam it's about 37 or more, which makes sense because you're trying to take all 13 of the tricks. Now we didn't get to touch on this all that much during the session, but what the bidding is going to eventually work out is how many points our partnership has, and we're going to learn a code for that over the next few weeks. So the bidding is going to help us to determine what should be trumps and if we have any chances of getting to those bonus levels, and that all correlates with the high card points. Now the important things to really take away from this week's lesson, for starters, get the mechanics right with the card play, so make sure you understand those terms of defender, defender on lead, dummy and declarer. Also learn to count high card points, and in all honesty the quicker that you can do this the better, because you've got more mental energy to spend on other things. So that's where aces are 4, kings are 3, queens are 2 and jacks are 1. And then also just cement those ideas that our high card points will generally give us an idea of how many tricks that we're going to take in the card play. The next thing we need to know is what's important with choosing a trump suit, and that's that it's all about quantity, not about quality. So we want to find a suit that we've got 8 or more cards in between the 2 hands, and it doesn't matter how they're divided. They could be 4 and 4, they could be 5 and 3, they could be 7 and 1, or even 8 and 0. Doesn't matter at all, we're just happy to have a suit as trumps as long as there's 8 cards between the 2 suits, the 2 hands, sorry. Now, what you want to do is go through the supplementary videos that are available. And what I would also suggest is that you do sort of deal out hands and play them at home if you would like to. And in all honesty, the quicker you can count and sort your cards, and also the quicker you can count up your high card points, the easier that you will find the coming weeks. So it's a good idea to practice that at home. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. If you do have any questions, feel free to email me at bridgevid@gmail.com. Bye for now.